Hello and welcome back to another episode of Reach Your Happy with Laura. I am Laura. If you are new here, I talk about all things emotional and more. So in my last video, I talked about pain and why that arises. That may be helpful to listen to before you get to this, but if you're like, no, I just want to dive into it and you want to start here, that's totally fine too. I trust that you're listening to exactly what you need. So I am conducting this series of providing Reiki every day for a group of people that signed up for a whole month straight. And one of the messages I received that has been so helpful, it's on the topic of emotions. So I'm going to zoom out just a little bit. So you have a goal in mind. So say you want to buy a car, you want to buy a house, you want to get married, you want to lose weight, you want to start a gym, whatever the goal is, let's just use buying a car as the goal. So you want to buy a car, and for whatever reason, you're not in the space to do that, whether it's financial, you're unsure, keep that goal in mind. Now, what I received during a Reiki healing was that whatever emotion arises when you're thinking about that goal, so say it's some fear, perhaps you aren't sure if you have enough money to buy that car that you want. So let's just call the emotion is fear when you think about that goal. There's so much messaging about positivity and always looking on the bright side and being optimistic and positive affirmations. However, what I have discovered is that the fear, the sense of guilt or worry or anxiety that arises is actually the precise step you are meant to take at this time to get you just a little bit closer to that ultimate goal. So many different emotions can come up when we're on our way to the goal. I like to think of a goal being set a little bit in the future, and that if it's not in my experience right now, that is because I am still morphing into the version of me that is an energetic match to that car. So in order to be an energetic match, my body, my mind, my emotions are going to bring up for me the different feelings that need to be tended to, need to be acknowledged, seen, worked through to some degree in order to get me one step closer towards that ultimate goal. So say fear arises. I'm not sure if I can scrape up the funds and have a consistent income to support that vehicle being in my life, and also have the other things that I need to happen, like groceries and paying my rent and all that. So you process that fear. You look at, what is that fear trying to show me? What's it trying to tell me? This is where the last video will be really helpful. It's not just in physical pain that we can get information, but just emotions in general have information in them. Yes, that is true. We don't feel emotion for no reason, but sometimes we feel fear or anxiety and we're like, oh my gosh, something bad gonna happen. Is that why I'm feeling fear? And maybe, but more often than not, it's because that is an emotion that wants to be seen and heard and understood for some reason that's going to reveal something to you that you can't currently see, that you don't currently understand about yourself or that car or whatever it may be. It may not even be tied to the car. There may be some sort of relationship issue that arises and you're like, how does this make sense? How does this relationship issue that I feel fear around connect to the car? Because everything's connected. Just like our physical body, like when my trap hurts and it's giving me a headache, it's pulling here and it's really the trap over here that hurts. And then I go down to my hips and those are tight, and go down to my heel and my foot's tight. So it's all connected. So there's a little bit of blind faith that, okay, processing this emotion that arises when I think about that goal is the next step. So you don't have to believe me right now. I would encourage you to go through the process. If you have some goal in mind, something that you're wanting for yourself, to bring it up. Feel into it. Like, oh, when I think about my dream, ... I feel angst. I feel a little concerned. I feel a little insecure. Okay, pick one of those things and just hold some space for it. See what it has to show you. Because I do believe everything is so perfectly made and intricately wired that we don't feel things for nothing. We feel things to help us evolve past the point that we're currently at, to then evolve to be a better match to that thing that we are saying we are wanting. So every emotion on the trail, on your way to the thing that you think that you want, or maybe that you truly do want. I say think that you want because I think sometimes we think we want something, but as we get closer, we're like, oh, actually, no, I just wanted to feel more confident. I didn't actually need the car to make me feel confident, but the goal of the car in mind was really the string that pulled me along and helped me get to this place of confidence. And now I realize I'm good. I don't need the car to make me feel better. Likewise, you could feel better and more confident and still want the car. No judgment. But the emotions that arise are, imagine these stepping stones. They are the stepping stones to get you closer to that goal. So what I'm saying is we are completely supported in every emotion. They all serve a divine purpose for us. But it's taking a different perspective instead of like, why am I feeling this? Am I doing the wrong thing? It's, oh, so interesting. I didn't know this emotion was going to come up in regards to the car. What does this have to show me? And ultimately, the goals that we have are the things that help us evolve. And without our goals in mind, without desires, what would we be changing for? And so these desires we have help illuminate emotions that are there that need some tending to. I guess you don't need tending to, but if they get some attendance, then you're going to shift and shed into a new version of yourself that will call forth different experiences, different people, deeper levels of connection. So anytime you feel any kind of emotion, try not to shame it or blame it or victimize yourself or say like, I shouldn't be feeling this way. If this is true, that everything is perfectly orchestrated on our behalf to help us evolve, then the emotion that you're feeling, no matter how gnarly or comfortable it is, whatever end of the scale you're on, is important. And when we disregard emotions, oh, you have anxiety, and people say, oh, just don't worry about it, just be grateful. It's like, no, there's something there though. And only you can take that grand adventure. Only you can say yes to leaning into that discomfort. Because by avoiding it, nothing shifts, right? You just have this like nagging thing in the back of your head. It doesn't shift. It only shifts when we turn and look at it and we're like, what's up, anxiety? What do you have to tell me? And you can be completely fed up with it. You can even be a little bit like, what do you want? That's okay. It's just a process that you're going through. There's no judgment. It's just, let me be human and address this emotion and see what it has in store for me. So the next time you think about shaming your feelings, you're like, oh, I really shouldn't be feeling this way. I really don't want to feel this way. Remember that emotions have information. The initial emotion is just the top layer, and there are layers and layers and layers to access to help reveal something for you that once you give some attention to and you reveal it to yourself, even if it's just the first very top layer, two little cute puppies walking by. You open something up and you get to transmute that energy. It gets to shift for you. So it doesn't have to stay stale and tucked in and tight and uncomfortable, which eventually turns into some sort of physical pain or ailment. We have the ability to heal ourselves. And yes, Reiki helps. Yes, acupuncture helps. Yes, meditation helps. Yes, movement helps, right? Yes, good, healthy, nourishing food helps. Yes, probiotics and vitamins and all that stuff helps. And if you don't have access to any of that, if all you have is the device you're listening to this on in yourself, know that what you need is within you, that you can hold space for your pain and your emotions, and they can reveal to you some secret, some gift, some insight that I bet if you pulled away, you go, yeah, I kind of knew that, but that really drove it home for me. But it can reveal some sort of insight that inches you closer to that goal. And as much as we want to get to that goal, it's so nice to achieve a goal. I am a firm believer that the time it takes between where you are now and where that goal is, the time it takes, the evolution that happens is exactly what needs to happen for you to match up with the energy of that goal and be ready for what this goal is going to deliver to you. Because you get to a certain goal, you graduate high school, you pass some sort of test, you're like, done. And it's like, shoot, I'm not done. There's something more and more and more. So you kind of get fed up with the goals. Because it's like, well, I reach a goal and then there's some other goal that I want to get to. It's kind of exhausting. It never ends. I just want more and more and more. And that's okay. And the kind of fed up, it's like, yeah, maybe we should stop rushing to the goals. Maybe the time that it takes is exactly what we need, and this will give us permission to kind of sit back, trust the unfolding, and be attentive to what arises, what emotions come forth for us to feel, to process, to hold space for, to then reveal a deeper layer that helps us become that next level of who we are and who we want to become. All right, I think that's it. I hope that made sense. It really resonates for me. In any of my work, in any of anyone's work, if it does not resonate, it's not for you. Maybe not ever, or maybe it's just not at this point in time. So never feel like you have to subscribe to what I'm saying because I have such conviction about it. If it doesn't resonate for you, it may not be for you at this time. And just putting it aside and trusting that who you feel drawn to at any given time, whether that's friends or practitioners, YouTube people, trust the ebb and flow. That you do intuitively know, instinctually know what feels right to you at any given time. All right, that is all I have for you today. Thank you for tuning in, and until next time, take good care. Bye-bye.